You may have noticed on my social media pages I've started a new series. It is called The Clutch Mindset. The Clutch Mindset. So check it out. It's on YouTube and my Dr. Bill page and my regular personal Facebook page. So what is a clutch mindset? Well, let's start from the beginning. I always start off with my phrase, you can think outside the box, but you can't act outside the box. Let me say that again. You can think outside the box, but you can't act outside the box. So, what that means is, whenever you try to do something different that's not part of your self-image, that is what your subconscious believes about you, whenever you try to do something that goes against that, you're going to have a hard time doing it because your subconscious will not let you. So, all those things that you want to do that find it difficult, that is what's in your box. That's your behavior box. So when I say you can think outside the box, you can think of anything you want to. You can think of some crazy idea that no one's ever thought of. You can think differently, but you can't act differently. You cannot act differently than your self-image. You cannot act differently than the person you believe you are, because everything comes back to belief. So the person that you believe you are, that's how you will act. So if you believe you're shy, you'll act shy. If you believe you're not good at something, it's going to be hard to do it because your subconscious will not let you, and it will bombard you with a bunch of negative thoughts. And that's why you eventually give up and quit. So it doesn't matter what it is. It could be working out. If you're not the kind of person that works out, it's going to be hard. Maybe quitting a bad behavior, quitting a bad habit. Well, currently, that's in your behavior box. So doing that thing is in your behavior box. So when you want to do something else, that's not in your box. There's something else is not in your box. And so your mind, your subconscious mind isn't going to let you. Now, what does this have to, how does this relate to the clutch mindset? So the clutch mindset is a series that I'm showing that shows people performing at their best, whether it's a clutch person or a clutch moment. And so, no, we don't know what was going through in their mind necessarily, but they came through in that moment and they were able to block out all the negative thoughts and come through in that moment. And so what I try to teach you is that you can do the same in your own personal life, but I'm not talking necessarily about one particular moment. I'm talking about your life. So when you try to do something differently, when you want to break a bad habit, the phone would ring right now. We're on live. My phone's over there. So when you want to break a bad habit, when you want to start something new, a new habit, when you want to change something that's not a part of your behavior box, that's not a part of your current belief system or your current self-image, when you want to do that, you've got to convince your self-conscious that this is the new you so that it'll let you. So when we're talking about, what was I saying? When we're talking about the clutch mindset, the clutch is blocking out all the noise, blocking all the negative thoughts, and coming through and performing what you need to do right at that moment. So what I was saying is, I've developed something called mind surgery, the behavior box, what we were just talking about. And so I can help people change their mindset and change their behavior code, change what's in their box, so that now you're not fighting against your subconscious. When you try to do something like quit smoking, you're fighting against your subconscious because smoking is actually in your behavior box. Smoking is a part of your self-image. You see yourself as a smoker currently. It doesn't have to stay that way, and it may not have been that way before, but that is currently part of your self-image. That's who you see yourself as. And that's part of your behavior code right now. So when you try to do something different, your subconscious is going to talk to you. It's going to come up with all these negative thoughts. It's going to speak to you. It's going to tell you, you're never going to quit. You're never going to quit. You will always be a smoker. What difference does it matter anyway? You're a loser. It's going to come up with everything it can to convince you to keep smoking. You understand? So the key is to get rid of that subconscious so it's not saying all that, because other than possibly, withdrawal or something physical, that's the main thing. It's the thoughts that are going through your head. So this whole series about the clutch mindset, it's just to get you thinking about the mindset and get you thinking what's going on. Somebody coming up to the plate with the bases loaded, Freddie Freeman coming up to the plate. What's going through his mind? It can't be negative thoughts. It's got to be, I got this. I got this. Doesn't mean he's going to hit a home run, but I got this. You understand? So that's what this series is about. Clutch moments, clutch people. Hope you like it. And I think it's going to be good.